Hello, BookTube, long time no see. I'm sorry about that. Um, I have a lot of books. This is unreal how many books I currently have in my room to read that I have not touched yet. But first we're gonna do currently reading arcs that I've gotten from my library, from my librarian who I love very dearly, and then we're gonna go to my to read pile because my to read pile is sickening. Okay, so first things first, currently reading City of Glass by Cassandra Clare, the third book of the Mortal Instruments series. I'm about, as you can see, I'm about right there. Yes, I fold my pages sometimes because I get lazy and don't feel like finding a bookmark because normally I just throw money or a picture in it. So, yeah, currently I have like about that much more to go. I've been slacking. I've been reading this book for 10 days and I just have not gotten through it at all. And I don't know why, but I just haven't gotten around to finishing it. And it's actually really starting to bug me because I hate reading a book for more than a week, and if I do, it drives me insane. So I started reading this yesterday. I think I read like 60 pages in it last night, so I need to finish it today. That's what I'm hoping to do. I just have a dentist appointment later today, and that's about it. So yeah, so then my to read currently. Okay, my arcs that I got, well, two are arcs. One's already released, but two arcs. I got The Iron Trial, which is a middle grade book by Cassandra Clare and Holly Black from my librarian. And I don't actually know what this is about, but I'm actually highly interested because I do like, obviously I'm reading Cassandra Clare, I do like her. I only read one story by Holly Black before, and that was the Geektastic collection, which had about 10 or 15 authors in it, so it wasn't really her per se. It was like her like geeky story. So again, I really have not read her stories. So I'm kind of interested in to see how this works as a collaboration because I don't really read a lot of collaborations. The last one I think I read was Will Grayson. So typically I don't really read them because I read that forever ago. So there's that. This is a middle grade, obviously, so this sounds interesting. I don't really read a lot of middle grade anymore, so this is going to be maybe a turn for me. Next we have The Ring and the Crown by Melissa De La Cruz. Excited for this, extremely excited. I only started to read Blue Bloods for her about probably 3 or 4 years ago. Wasn't really interested, but it is signed, so my heart kind of broke a little bit. Whenever I see signed books, my heart breaks because they're not mine. Excited to read her. I want to see because I have heard good things about it, so I'm excited. And then we have Rooms by Lauren Oliver. Love her so much. I love this woman. Also signed by her. Heart kind of broke a little bit because I was like, this isn't mine. But it is signed by Lauren Oliver. Again, not really sure what this is about, but it's Lauren Oliver. I mean, look at her. Look at that beauty. She's a beautiful person. Beautiful person. Okay, so those are my arcs. So they're right here. That's better because they're not as backwards. Okay, next I have a large enough pile. Like this is just one pile alone. Okay, this is how bad I'm getting. So I'm gonna go quickly down 2 piles and make this under 10 minutes. Probably won't do that. So here I have a Once So Wicked. Yeah, Once So Wicked by Susan Young. My librarian suggested this to me. First book was okay. It's like Angels. It's okay. But, I mean, I kind of want to finish the series because I hate finishing it, not starting a series and not finishing it. That's what I hate. So I'm aiming to get this one done. So I have this. I have the sequel to The Notebook, which is The Wedding by Nicholas Sparks. Trying to read all his books this year because he has like 30, so I kind of want to read them. I've read about 4 this year. So I want to read more of him. I have Tiger Lily by Judy Lynn Anderson, which is a retelling of Peter Pan, I believe. Something along those lines. Yeah. Interested? So I'm gonna check this one out. It's been sitting in my library for like ever, and I just like looked at it, glanced at it, looked over, and I was like, yeah, maybe not. But I was like, why the heck not pick it up? Then I have This Song Will Save Your Life by Layla Sales. Wanted this book forever. My libraries did not have it, so I was like, could you order it and then put it in the library and I'll borrow it? So I've had it for about over a month now and have not yet to read it. So I need to read it, obviously. Next, I have How to Save a Life by Sarah Zarr. I read Sweethearts by her probably 3 or 4 years ago. Have not read her since. I picked this book up probably 3 or 4 times and just have never picked it up to actually read it. I just picked it up from the library and never actually picked it up. So I'm going to try to read it this time. I don't really have a lot of time left on it, so I'm trying to read as many books as possible. Next, I have Side Effects May Vary by Julie Murphy, which I've heard is an extremely good story. I'm pretty sure that's what people were talking about. But yeah, I've heard this is a good story, so I'm excited to pick it up. Because this is like I don't know, I'm really big into cancer stories, which sounds really wrong, but I am, and that sounds terrible, but I am. I don't know. And then next I have Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. Love Morgan Matson, read Second Chance Summer by her about approximately last summer, maybe a little later in the year. But I loved her. This is another perfect summer read. Cannot wait to pick it up. I need to pick it up, actually. This is the next book I'm reading because it has a hold on it and I need to return it by like next week, and I want to read it before I return it. So yeah, so I need to read this one next. That's going to be my next to read. Then I have The Impossible Knife of Memory by Laurie Halse Anderson. I love Laurie Halse Anderson. She's a very good writer, very good historical writer. I read her first book, Fever, 1793. Did not really like it because I had to read it for school. I don't know, like reading books for school. I like reading them for myself. So interesting is to see how this one goes because I've heard good things about it. Have heard good things. Next I have Hereafter by Tyra Hudson. This one I'm just curious about. I want to see what this is about because I think it's like dystopian fantasy. And here's my cat. Hi, cat. But yeah, I'm interested into what this is about. It's a love story, obviously. What fantasy isn't a love story anymore? Everything's a love story. But yeah, so there's that. Okay, now on to my second pile, because I think there's about 10 in this one alone. So, okay. So we have Linger, which is the sequel to Shiver by Maggie Stevwater. Stevwater? I might have butchered her name, and she'll probably... Oh, she won't hate me. She's not going to watch this. I'll be okay. But yeah, this is actually pretty interesting to me. I like the first one. Excuse me. Thank you. He's gonna come back and do it again. But, I loved Shiver, loved the concept of werewolves in this sense, not in a Twilight sense, so this is a lot better. Then I have Crash Into You by Katie McGarry, which is the third book of this series, which is just continually messed up relationships. Basically. That's basically all it is. It's really messed up relationships. Someone has a problem with something. So yeah, it's just a love story. That's the sole purpose of these books. There's really not much else besides it. So yeah, I have this one. So this is the third book. I want to finish the series because I know the fourth just came out, and I think she's writing a fifth. I don't know how far she's going with this series. I honestly don't know. But I like the idea because it's like every single character is attached to each other in some kind of way, like the main characters at least. My cat wants loving. He wants to be loved. Hi, Bailey. This is Bailey. Bailey, say hi to BookTube. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can go. I'm going to finish my book still. Okay, and then Daughter of Smoke and Bone, which is part of Booktown's book club on Tumblr. Obviously, I have not started doing that either, and this started June 1st, and it is now June 16th, and I have not read a single book for this book club, and I'm slacking hardcore, and I shouldn't be, but I am. So, I also was doing another one, which is like the total book pages per week, and then people would win stuff, but I completely forgot about who I'm doing that on Tumblr with, so... Plus, I haven't got an email from her in like 2 weeks, so it doesn't really help. But yeah, so I'm going to try to wrap myself up in this as soon as possible. Probably after I'll read Since She's Been Gone by Morgan Matson. I don't know, I need to stop checking out so many books. Anywho, so yeah, this is just like my most up-to-date all books that I've gotten until this morning, because I said to myself, I walked in the door, I was like, I'm not going to walk out with any books at all. Just going to go walk in, return my books that are overdue, and then walk out. And of course I didn't do that. Because I got these 3 books from her this morning that aren't technically library books. I really don't need to be worrying about them on time. But she does want this back as soon as possible, which is understandable. But, yeah. So I have those 3 books. So there's 3. I returned 4. There's 3 already. And then I picked up 3 more. Because I had to. Because my life is not controlling. I don't control my life. Books do. So I picked up Forgive Me, Leonard Peacock by Matthew Quick. I've only read the Silver Linings Playbook that I can recall. I think that's the only book I read by him. I might have picked up Boy 21. I just don't remember. So this is kind of like this is young adult, obviously, if this isn't his adult books. So yeah, Forgive Me, Leonard Peacock. I don't know what half the books are that I pick up. I just pick them up and I'm like, oh, this looks cool, so I'm going to pick it up and read it. But typically I don't pick it up and read it. I just let it sit on my shelf for like 3 weeks. And I picked up Meet Your Old Dying Girl because I saw on Tumblr there was a post that said, well, if you like this element from Fault in Our Stars, which is the cancer element, the realistic terms relating to cancer, go with this one. So I picked up Meet Your Old Dying Girl. Apparently this sounds really good. And my cat's back. Thank you, Bailey. Thank you for annoying me while I'm trying to do this. So yeah, I'm excited to pick this up because I did, as weird as it sounds, I did like the cancer aspect of this book. So technically right now I have 2 books based off of cancer. And that's Meet Your Own Dying Girl and Side Effects May Vary. Bailey, can you not right now? Thank you.